Before I say a really inflammatory thing that's gonna make you respond emotionally before the logical part of your brain ever has a chance to catch up, let me say two things first. One, Rachel wrote the script for this video, so if you have something negative to say about it, direct any hate towards her in the comments. She really loves that. Two, thanks to Squarespace for sponsoring this video. Oh, and three, sorry if the audio sucks, I don't really have a better place to record right now.
I didn't know being an audiophile was a crime.
Okay, get your panties ready to bunch up. Here goes. You are not a creative. Let me explain. I understand the inclination to refer to artistic pursuits as creative. Ever since you were a kid, you were probably told you were either left-brained or right-brained.
I am the right brain. I have feelings.
You might have gravitated toward classes that were labeled creative arts or math and science. But this theory of right versus left brain is not only completely nonsense, it's incredibly limiting as well. I've always felt uncomfortable when people refer to themselves as creatives. There's an arrogance to it. It feels like gatekeeping to say that someone isn't creative because they're a plumber, for example. It implies that certain people are creative and others are not, and that's just not even close to being true. I think a lot of people conflate creativity with artistry, but the reality is that the ability to artistically express yourself is very rare, but every person on the planet is creative. A person who calls himself a creative is ironically putting a box around creativity. Creativity isn't limited to art. In fact, creativity is actually scientific by nature. Finding creative solutions is the natural chemical response of your incredibly efficient brain. It doesn't matter who you are or what you do for a living, humans are wired to create. We create solutions, we create opportunities, heck, we even create worst case scenarios in our heads. We are all constantly creating all day long.
Look what I have created!
Now take my father-in-law for example. He's a man of simple pleasures, none of which are artistic pursuits. He'd never be inclined to touch a canvas or write a song. He wouldn't appreciate an opera or voluntarily buy tickets to a play, but he is one of the most creative people I know. If anything, and I mean anything, breaks in his house, he can quickly tap into the most creative part of his brain to fix it. Give him any car, any motorcycle, any electronic device, and in a couple of hours, he will dissect it, diagnose it, and creatively work to fix it. If the clothes dryer is making weird noise, I can hold my phone up to it and he can tell me what's probably wrong with it from the other end of the line. This is creativity, and everyone's got it. It doesn't look the same on everyone, and that's the beauty of creativity. Rocket scientists, mathematicians, mechanics, lawyers, dog trainers, chefs, customer service reps, computer programmers, filmmakers, fishermen, engineers, graphic designers, car salesmen, and teachers are all regularly exercising creativity in their work and daily lives. Without creativity, nobody would have ever walked on the moon or built sick Lego sculptures. So whoever you are, whatever you do for a living or for fun, just know that you are incredibly creative. Don't ever let someone make you feel like you're not. So if we're ditching this whole creative label, how do we define careers that are traditionally viewed as creative pursuits? What is it about photography, filmmaking, painting, dancing, songwriting, poetry, etc. that causes us to group them together? The answer is simple. They are art. They can each cause us to feel something. They're each a medium for any person to express their voice, to communicate some part of their human experience, to connect with and relate to others. Take the song Hallelujah by Leonard Cohen, or maybe the Jeff Buckley cover, am I right? There is a lonesome pining in the fiber of that song that transcends language. The combination of the notes, the timbre of the instruments, the sullen voice, and the poetic lyrics take you to the depths of the human experience and somehow lift you out of them as well. This experience that I'm fumbling to describe is art. So is photography always art? Absolutely not. Sometimes photography is just a way for you to remember how cute your dog's always been, and sometimes it's a way to blow your integrity so that you can make rent. But sometimes it can communicate a feeling or idea that mere words couldn't articulate on their own. And in those moments, photography is art. When you feel the urge to share an image with the world because it communicates something vulnerable inside of you, you're engaging in art. When you feel the urge to post a photo to please an algorithm or rake in likes, you're pumping out content. As we've always said, art is having something to say. Content is having to say something. Now, I'll be honest, I'm not comfortable with the idea of calling myself an artist, and I'm certainly uncomfortable with the idea of calling myself a content creator. Maybe you feel the same way, and maybe that's totally okay. Maybe everything doesn't need a label. Maybe it's more important to focus on making things that are fulfilling and satisfying. Let the labels go. Now, because nobody's buying books of my poetry, let me tell you about Squarespace. If you've watched our videos before, you probably know that we are pretty big fans of Squarespace. We have been customers of theirs for years, long before this YouTube channel even existed, and still have our 3 Squarespace websites going strong. Usually we do something off the walls for our ad spots, like fake our elopement to trick my mom, spoof old MTV reality shows, or do our best Peloton commercial parody. But I wanted to let you know about some new things cooking over at Squarespace. If you're a photographer looking to diversify your revenue streams, check out their new member areas. This allows you to sell access to gated content like video classes, digital downloads, or newsletters. Frickin' sweet. You can also showcase your photography with Squarespace's professional portfolio designs. Customize the layout, look, and feel to make it your own. Also, you can schedule and book appointments straight from your website. You need to lock in client meetings? Well, they can easily see your availability and reschedule if needed, making your life a heck of a lot easier. And if that wasn't cool enough, you can save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain when you go to squarespace.com/mangostreet, or just click the link in the description. Thanks so much for watching. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. We'll see you next time. Bye.